And what a difference a day makes here. Yesterday, hot conditions, dangerous heat indices. Today, overcast skies and temperatures barely cracking 90 degrees. As you take a live look over the River City this afternoon, again, those thick clouds really kept the temperatures down today. Current temperature, a very chilly 84 degrees out there. 84 degrees out at the beach, 85 degrees out in Arlington. Those northeasterly winds is the key there. So we have nor'easter conditions here, and we'll show you some winds coming up momentarily where winds are gusting to as high as nearly 30 miles per hour out along our coastal zones. It did manage to crack 90 degrees, but just barely, with a high of 91 over at the airport. As we take a live look at Live 5 Doppler radar, not a whole lot to show you here, and you're also noticing that there's no orange on the map. That means we have no heat advisories in effect across our region. It looks like the really tough part of the summer now is over for us as those temperatures come back down into the upper 80s where they should be for this time of year. Again, we have just one lone thunderstorm way to the south of Palatka that is out of our viewing area, so no issues there to speak of. But we do need to talk about Tropical Storm Cristobal here. 677 miles south-southeast of Jacksonville here as of 5 o'clock. Winds are 45 miles per hour, gusting to 50, and the pressure holding steady at about 1,001 millibars. The reason why we talk about the pressure is because the lower the pressure is, generally the stronger the storm is. So that's why we keep an eye on that barometric pressure. And the movement here north at 8 miles per hour, that is probably old information now because the storm, as I'll show you coming up in just a second, has become nearly stationary and is sitting pretty much in place there over the Turks and Caicos. Here's the official forecast here. By the time we get into the later part of the week here, Thursday into Friday, the storm will eventually be ejected on out to sea as a Category 1 hurricane, but it's going to spend a lot of time down here in the southern Bahamas, really kind of stirring up the waters a bit, but really not anticipating a whole lot of strengthening. And here's why. First of all, it is a giant system, and big storms take a long time to organize. And the other part of this is it's just really not a whole lot of thunderstorm activity around the center of circulation, which appears to be right in this general area. In order for a tropical system to develop, you want those thunderstorms to wrap around the center of circulation, and right now we are not seeing that. Most of the thunderstorms are displaced off to the east and northeast of the center of circulation. Again, no consequence to our forecast as of right now, but we're going to continue to keep an eye on that storm for you over the next couple of days. Current temperature 84 degrees here in Jacksonville, still 87 degrees in Waycross. Bottom line is tremendous change here over the past 24 hours. Heat indices, 92 degrees here in Jacksonville, 92 in Brunswick, 101 in Waycross. And the winds, here's what I wanted to show you. 18 miles an hour from the northeast here in Jacksonville, 15 miles an hour in Fernandina. And the gusts, again, have been well over 25 to 30 miles per hour. 26 in St. Augustine, 20 in Fernandina, 24 miles per hour rather there in Jacksonville. And here's the forecast now. We had some scattered showers move through our area today. What you see today is going to be an exact repeat of what we're going to have for tomorrow because we have that northeasterly wind driving in these showers off the Atlantic Ocean. And by the time we get to 8:30 this evening, you're going to see more showers are going to begin to approach the coastal regions. By the time we head into the overnight hours, into the early start of Monday, into Monday afternoon, these showers are going to continue to roll in. It won't be widespread, but where it does rain, the rain could be heavy. And we're also going to look for more gusty winds tomorrow afternoon as well as these nor'easter conditions persist across our region. So your forecast for tonight, we're looking at a low temperature right around 77 degrees, northeasterly winds at 15 miles per hour, 84 at noon, 40% chance of rain, 50% by 5 o'clock. Notice temperatures staying just shy of 90 degrees. Your forecast, 87 is what we're going with for tomorrow. Under generally overcast skies, we may see a peak of sun or two. 87 on Tuesday as well. And then finally, we get back to some more sunshine by the time we get into next weekend.
The Weather Authority.
Well, it's not like we weren't warned that the brief respite of fall was just that, a brief respite from summer.
I know. Blake.
I know. I know. You know how I feel about it. I am not a big fan of the heat, but September coming up on Monday. How about that? And also in passing, September going into the height of hurricane season. Today also marking the 9th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. Thankfully, the tropics are quiet tonight, but the radar was active earlier this afternoon. Thankfully, that has quieted down as well. Here's a live look over the River City this evening. It's a pleasant night. Temperature 79 degrees currently at the airport, 80 degrees at the beach, and the same in Arlington. Southeasterly winds here at 9 miles an hour, 6 miles an hour in Arlington. And we're going to continue to see this pattern pattern over the next couple of days. We're going to have some pretty healthy rain chances in your forecast as well. So what we saw today will likely be repeated for tomorrow. That means not every backyard's going to get wet, but where it does rain, it could be on the heavy side. Live look at Live 5 Doppler radar. All is quiet here across our region, but you take a look out over the open Atlantic here, and there are a couple of thunderstorms, but these are moving away from our region, so no consequence to our forecast for tonight. Temperature's nice and comfortable out there, 79 degrees in the downtown area, 76 degrees in St. Augustine, 74 degrees in Palatka, 84 degrees in Waycross this hour, 80 degrees in Valdosta. Winds light and variable across the region, still perhaps maybe a little gusty here in Fernandina at 13, but all in all, not too bad out there. Now, speaking of tropics, again, taking a wide look at the open Atlantic here, not a whole lot going on. There's Cristobal, what's left of it. Now an extratropical system moving up into the Canadian Maritimes. All is quiet here over the western Atlantic. The Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea. This is where things begin to get interesting a little bit here. You'll notice a big blowup of thunderstorms in the northwestern Gulf of Mexico. The National Hurricane Center monitoring this, but likely, if there is any circulation, will move into the Houston area later on this evening. So no development is expected from that particular system. But you look out over the Caribbean Sea, and we are monitoring Invest 98L, and you can see quite a bit of thunderstorm activity associated with this. And this is going to continue to move through the western Caribbean Sea towards the Yucatan Peninsula. Once it does so, the National Hurricane Center gives us a 30% chance of development once it gets into the Bay of Campeche, and then it should move off into northern Mexico. But we're going to continue to monitor it, and the reason why we're fairly confident of that track is thanks in part to high pressure that's just off the Atlantic coast. There goes the deep tropical moisture from that system currently sitting off the Texas coast. A front is going to come down into, it'll get into central Georgia here, but stall out. If anything, that'll help aggravate our rain chances heading into the middle part of the upcoming week. But you'll see there is the likely path of what could be, and it's a very big could, Dolly as it moves into the southern Gulf of Mexico and probably, at least at this time, into northern Mexico. But we have a long time to watch this, and we'll continue to keep you updated on it if indeed it does become anything. For your hour-by-hour forecast for tonight, starting at 11 o'clock, the model picking up on just a couple of showers, probably overdoing it just a little bit, but this is where I want to show you, starting tomorrow at 1:35 in the afternoon, just a couple of spotty showers here. This is a fairly good model, so if it's not painting a lot of rain, you probably won't anticipate a lot of rain for tomorrow afternoon. But again, where it does rain, the rain could be heavy. We're going with about a 40 to 50% chance of rainfall. Again, that'll be mainly west of town for the early part of the afternoon, stretching into the I-95 corridor by the time we get into the late evening hours. So keep that in mind if you have any outdoor activities for tomorrow. For tomorrow, speaking of which, we're looking for high temperatures in the lower 90s across our region, 93 on the north side, 92 downtown, maybe 94 in Orange Park, 96 out in Cecil Commerce. That's probably a little warm, but you get the idea. Summer's not quite over with yet here in northeastern Florida. 74 degrees is your expected low temperature for tonight. For tomorrow, 88 degrees by the noon hour, 30% chance of rain, increasing to a 50% chance of storms by 5 o'clock, a temperature in the lower 90s. And the full boat here, we're looking for scattered PM thunderstorms for tomorrow. Heading into Sunday, we're looking at about 92 degrees there with, again, scattered showers and storms in your forecast. And by the time we get to Labor Day, we're looking at, again, steamy conditions. So hopefully nobody's laboring outside. But temperatures will hold on into those lower 90s heading into the early part of next week with scattered showers just about every single day. Tom and Mary.
Thank you, Blake.
An investigation of a shocking case of elderly neglect.
Neighborhood, hours before it happens. Channel 4 is the Weather Authority.
All right, and we're through the weekend now. I hope everybody had a great one. You know, what a difference 24 hours makes. Yesterday, hot and steamy, lots of sunshine. Today, the clouds moved in, but the trade-off, much cooler temperatures out there. And I know, speaking for myself, I love the cooler weather. I'm sure a lot of you folks do as well, but it looks like we are through the meat of the summertime. So we'll see what the rest of the forecast has in store, but it looks like it's going to be a lot cooler heading into the next couple of days. Taking a live look over the River City this evening. It is a pleasant evening out there. It's dry in the downtown currently, but if you're watching from St. Johns County, at least the northern part, or southern Duval County, you guys are picking up a couple of showers. We'll show you that coming up in just a moment. It's 81 degrees currently at the airport, 82 degrees at the beach. Same in Arlington, and these temperatures will continue to drop just 1, 2, maybe even 3 degrees cooler, and that's going to be about it, thanks in part to the cloud cover that is breeze over our area. Mostly dry across our region from southeastern Georgia through northeastern Florida, but zooming on down into areas of northern St. Johns County here, you'll see that we do have a couple of showers in progress here in southern Duval County as well. Looks like just crossing into Duval, right along 295 here south of the town center and just to the east of Phillips Highway. This shower is moving off towards the south and west, generally in the direction of the St. Johns River. Putting a tracker on this, it's moving pretty quickly here at about 20 miles an hour or so. This is going to put it in Pine Bluff in about 9 minutes, Julington Creek in about the next 15 minutes or so, Fruit Cove in 22 minutes. So keep in mind that we have a lot more showers to go out behind me over the open waters of the Atlantic. So Jacks Beach, Ponte Vedra Beach, get ready. We have more showers moving in your direction. So it looks like it could be a wet overnight tonight, and we have more in store for your commute tomorrow morning. So keep that in mind. May want to leave a few minutes early. Tropical Storm Cristobal, 668 miles southeast of Jacksonville, 45-mile-an-hour winds as of the 8 p.m. advisory, 52-mile-an-hour gusts, and the pressure is actually down to 998 millibars. And we constantly watch the barometer because the lower the pressure goes, generally, the stronger the storm is. Now, take a look at the forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center, and you will see that they want to keep this fairly far away from the U.S. mainland, which is really good news. You can see most of the computer models are now agreeing with a very hard right turn as it pushes up off towards the outer banks of North Carolina and then eventually on out into the Canadian Maritimes. But we're going to continue to monitor it because it is certainly that time of year. You can see it is a very large circulation here, sitting pretty much stationary over the southern Bahamas. And again, a very poorly organized system, but there in the last few frames, looks like we have a pretty good ball of convection, aka thunderstorms that are forming near the center. That could be a sign of organization. Temperature 81 degrees currently in the downtown, 82 in Fernandina, 78 degrees in Gainesville. The winds have been breezy all afternoon. We are 15 miles per hour here in Jacksonville, gusting to upwards of 30 miles per hour there in Fernandina. Now here's your forecast. The storm here wants to lift off to the north thanks in part to a front that has slipped through our area, and that front will kick this thing on out to sea, and it will bring cooler weather into our area, but it's also going to bring a more disturbed atmosphere. We're looking for rain chances over the next 48 hours to be pretty healthy at about 40 to 50%. Highs tomorrow in the upper 80s, 87 degrees on the north side, 86 downtown. That's thanks in part to those thick clouds that'll be across the region. For tonight, 77 degrees is about all we're going to muster for tonight, it looks like. Though your haircast, there you go. Northeasterly winds 15 to 25 miles per hour, 84 degrees. At noon tomorrow, 40% chance of rain, 50% chance of rain at 5 o'clock in the full boat here, 50% chance of rain tomorrow, not much sun, but then the sun comes back by midweek and into next weekend. Ken?
Thanks, Blake. Well, I told Mike